it's that time again. It's 6 in the morning. I have an appointment in a couple of hours, and for the last week, insomnia has been basically eating me alive. So I figured since I can't sleep and I've just been, rather than just lying here, just fucking letting my brain rot, I've been just catching up on some YouTube stuff, and I've been seeing a lot about a certain person who I myself have had, up till this point, like, a very questionable changing opinion on. I've been seeing a lot of shit recently, and by recently I mean like within the last few weeks, but definitely within the last week or two, I've been seeing a lot more in my recommended feed, from lots of different people. Like even like art channels, not just gossip and drama and commentary channels, so that's kind of why it grabbed my attention so much, on the Rewired Soul. And I gotta say that I first came across his channel. I can't remember how. It was in the recommended section from another video I was watching to do with mental illness, I think. And I just thought, oh, okay, I'll go check this out. And at first, I thought, maybe it was just a better video or an older one. But at first, I bought into his shit and I went, oh, this guy actually seems pretty, like he's actually for the cause of better mental health, yada yada. Subbed, went, okay, cool. Maybe it'll put a little more light into my day to watch videos from someone who wants to make things positive, and being someone who has mental illness and suffers from it, because he's there with us, maybe he can help to empathize and just take off some of the stress of it, but making you feel more understood and safe, and maybe give tips and stuff. And I completely understood from the get-go, he is not a licensed therapist or anything. He's not a doctor. He's not licensed. He's not qualified to diagnose anyone with anything. He's a sufferer like those he's trying to help, or at least I thought he was trying to help. And I was like, you know what? It seems promising. I'd like to see what comes from this in the future, and if it can help me, because I'm a long-time sufferer of depression. Like, it's not just a temporary fleeting thing. It's been a long thing for me. I'm not very old in terms of, how long a human lifespan is. And I've had depression for the last 9 years. It's very, very hard. And I have other things combined with it that make it harder as well, including an anxiety, disorder is the word. For some reason my brain wants to say defect. I'm not defective, it's just a disorder, but I was born with anxiety. I cannot remember a day that I wasn't anxious about anything or constantly on the edge of a panic attack. And I mean, I was so late to be born that if I wasn't cut out of my mother when I was, we both could have risked dying. So it's like, even when I was a fucking fetus and a not born baby, I was anxious and didn't want to come into the world. So there's been like no point at which I developed anxiety. So I think having that my whole life kind of helped the depression to creep in when I was a child. And now as an adult, it's really hard going through your teen years, going through all of puberty with depression affecting your brain, as well as the hormones that you should be going through with puberty. And then that as well, it leads for a very angsty and confusing, dark, saddening upbringing. It's a harder journey than it should be if you're a teenager with depression. And now that I'm an adult, I've gotten better at coping with it. That doesn't mean I always understand it. You don't have to understand, and you're not gonna always understand everything there is to know about everything that's wrong with you. And that's fine. You don't have to. But the point is, I've been suffering for a long time. Almost a decade, with one of the worst things I can imagine, and a bunch of other things from different times that have come and mostly not gone. So I thought, when I came across that channel, this is good. This is a nice thing. Another positive light on YouTube to spread awareness, shed a bit of light, and hopefully just help people feel a bit more supported. And that was at first, and that was for about a week. And, when I saw the notifications come through from the video, I clicked to watch, and then I realized pretty quickly that they're kind of boring and clickbaity. In the first few minutes of the video, I'd be like, oh, that's completely off topic of what the title said again, or just, this isn't catching me anymore. So I decided, okay, fine, I'll turn notifications off and just come check the channel every now and then if something that looks interesting has come up. I'll stay subbed, but right now I just don't feel like I need this boring stuff that's not relating to what it said in the title, or isn't relating the way I thought. Like, it's totally taking a different curve, and I'm feeling impatient, and I don't need this right now. And because he had like so many topics, or at least it seemed like it, as well. diction thing made me think, okay, maybe he's a little more knowledgeable than your average person. But I've never had like a serious addiction to anything, fortunately, so I don't understand that. But I thought that maybe, you know, him having that experience and being, you know, an older adult than I still thought, okay, he talks about some other people on the platform's issues, he talks about these issues, that issue. And then I decided, for, you know, because I was kind of irritated over time of, like, you know, like another week or so it was just like, oh, basically same upload, or oh, it's about a YouTuber I don't like, or it's about such and such that I don't pay any attention to, so it will be wasted on me. And I'm not the kind of mindless follower that watches every video someone I'm subscribed to puts out. Unfortunately, I'm not that kind of person. It's like, okay, if you're someone I enjoy but you put out a video that seems boring or uninteresting to me, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna watch it. Sorry, I won't give you that watch time in that AdSense. But I decided, because there's not a lot out there, at least not that I have found, so I decided to see if he had done anything on a condition I suffer that I feel most of the time really uncomfortable talking about. I feel uncomfortable telling anyone in my life about it, mostly because a lot of people don't know what it is, or will get the complete wrong idea, or will look at me like I have two heads, and I'll have to backpedal and be like, okay, just forget I said anything, because you're gonna make my life hell if we keep talking about it. Namely my mother. I tried to tell her once and she just frowned at me, like disapprovingly, like I'd done something wrong. It was like, what the fuck do you mean? It's like, okay, I won't tell you half the things that are wrong with me. So there's not a lot of resources that I have found about it yet. There's only so much I know about it, which isn't a lot, because like I said, just because you have something doesn't mean you automatically know everything about it. Oh fuck, I'm shaking. But yeah, I decided to look up his name and d.i.d, which is, if you don't know, dissociative identity disorder, which used to be labeled as multiple personality disorder. And that gives a really negative, wrong connotation to people who don't know anything about it at all. It gives such a wrong impression, and it's really hard to explain, and everyone's experience is different. But fuck, I'm really, really shaking, because it makes me feel like vulnerable and exposed to mention it and to talk about it, but I have to say this. So I looked it up to see if there's anything by the Rewired Soul to do with d.i.d, and there was. Something popped up, and for a second I was like, what? The clickbait got me. The thumbnail, I can't remember what the title was, but something to do with it, of course, and the thumbnail said, meet my altar, and he was like pulling a broody face, and I was like, okay, he's clearly taking the piss there. And when I got into it, it was just like, it made me angry. He knows nothing about it, and was actually being really rather, like, rude. I remember I couldn't even get to the end of the video. It was making me so angry. I was like, no, you're wrong, you're rude, you're completely misinformed, and you're just, how dare you? I can't remember, because that's another thing that's wrong with me, is I have a trauma-based or induced memory loss, so I can't remember a lot of details about things like that, but I remember that he was saying some really nasty and uninformed things, basically trying to invalidate and be rude about d.i.d and d.i.d sufferers. And I remember scrolling down to the comment section, and so much of it was outrage by other people who either suffer and or know more about it than he does, saying, what the actual fuck was this supposed to be? What are you doing? And I was outraged. I was like, how do you know anything you're talking about if you're this misinformed on this fucking subject? It's really harmful. It's dangerous to spread this misinformation and to be so, like, to attack those of us who do suffer this because you don't suffer it and because you don't understand it. I felt really, really angry. I can't remember if I commented anything on it or not, but I just remember that it made me so fucking mad. And there was a related video in the recommended section that was apparently him apologizing for that video, which was, you know, that video was so out of line. And I think just a short while into the apology, I was like, this is like an I'm sorry but, which means it's invalidating everything you just said. It invalidates the apology. And he just kept going on, and it was like, bruh, this isn't really any kind of apology. I don't feel like forgiving you. I don't feel like you're really sorry. I feel like you were trying once again to twist the knife. What the fuck are you doing? And basically since that, I've barely watched any of his videos at all, because like, I think I've clicked on one or two since then and be like, you know, do you even have any idea what you're talking about on any topic, on any basis? Like, I think the last one I clicked on was I'm quitting drama or gossip or whatever it was, where he's outside, and I literally watched that for like a minute and went, what the fuck? But it made me so angry, and again, I'm fucking shaking, partly from anger and partly from a mild panic attack. But yeah, I was really uncomfortable, and I did feel attacked by that video. I was like, no, it's not how it goes. That's not what it's like. You wouldn't know. You don't get to say that because you don't have it, it doesn't exist, or because you don't have it, your idea of what the experience is universal for everyone, and people who actually suffer it have like their experience is what you expect or what you think. Like, I think he was saying that, like, oh, there's these people that have it but they're faking it, and it's like, how dare you? You don't get to say that about people. And there might be a few people out there, because there's people around the world who will fake anything and everything. You ever heard of Munchausen syndrome or Munchausen by proxy, where you either like can make yourself sick or you make someone else sick for attention? There's people out there like trenders. There's people out there, there's terrible people who have been like, I think they've been arrested and shit and been exposed for massive scams before, where they've fucking pretended to have cancer to scam money out of people. People have and can and will unfortunately fake illnesses, physical and mental, and ailments and all kinds of shit. There's people who lie about their family being dead. They'll lie about being in a car crash. The same as there might be some people out there who will fake having condition, like fake having schizophrenia or something. I don't know why you would want to, but some people do. And fuck knows why they do. Maybe for attention, maybe to feel special, maybe to try and get away with something they feel that would help them get away with, rather than just admitting they're a shitty person. But just because some people, the minority amount, fake something, doesn't mean that the majority who really do have that thing are less credible or are to blame for the few that are acting out or pretending. You don't get to say that everyone is invalid just because a tiny pinch, a handful, are fakers. There's gonna be that in everything and anywhere you look. There are gonna be people working in a job who have faked their resume and their qualifications to get there, you know? You never know walking down the street fucking corner who's actually a criminal, who's stolen that fucking shit they're wearing. Or, you know, you don't know who you're walking past who's on drugs. That doesn't mean that everyone in the area or everyone in a room or in a store has or does exactly one thing one way. You know, you can't do that. It's really damaging, and you're pressing a really, really bad image to people who don't know any better. It's like I haven't even seen it, but that movie Split that came out with James McAvoy, and I like him as an actor. I haven't seen it, and I don't want to, because apparently that portrays some very bad images. Like, it gives off so bad and horrible and inaccurate of an impression of people with d.i.d. that if anyone saw that and took that on as what a d.i.d. sufferer was like, that would be immensely damaging. And I would hate to see it, because I think the inaccuracy would make me just physically, like, I want a better word than cringe, but I feel like I would just physically fold in on myself to watch something and know, God, this is so wrong. This doesn't represent me. This doesn't represent what people like me are like. This doesn't represent us at all. This isn't what we stand for. This isn't the way we are. This isn't what our experiences are like. This isn't how we are outwardly to other people. It's, you know, some people have it worse than others, more intensely. Like, in my instance, there are only 3 people in my system, and one of them is fairly new, and she barely talks, and that's fine. We like her. And other people, you know, I know other people who have way more alters. They've got, you know, they've fragmented into many pieces. For a long time, I was only fragmented into 2. And, you know, a few months ago, a third split off from a bunch of extra stress coming into my life. And I can't explain it. Sometimes I really can't explain. It's hard for me to word it, because it's never the same, and no one's experience is the same. And anything I say could match or not match someone else's, and you might just go, oh, I don't believe it. And someone else could go, oh no, I want to believe this wrong thing, this inaccuracy, to believe the worst of you people. For me, and I think for most of us, half the time, you're not anybody. When you associate, that doesn't just mean you're jumping between personalities. It's not being present half the time. And I don't mean you're just sitting there spacing out in a daydream. I mean like yourself. And it's been happening a lot to me recently, where I've been just like completely dissociating, where there's no one fronting, where it's just, I'm just sitting there and I'm just going about my life, and it's great and it's empty and I don't feel anything and nothing is fulfilling. And it's not in the way depression does it, because you can still feel for things, but it's like when I dissociate, everything really is gray and saturated. I can think about the people I love dying in front of me, and it doesn't make me feel a thing. I recently broke up with someone, and I didn't react. I didn't feel anything till a few hours later. I thought about it a little too hard, and I don't know, maybe the sun coming up kind of put me in a different state of mind, but I started to feel again, and that's when it hit me like a truck, as all my ability to feel came back to me. And I just like, no, shut it down. I don't want to feel this. I want to stay distant. I want to stay in that dissociative state. And I hate being in a dissociative state. To avoid the pain, I wanted to go back to that, because that's what it does, at least to me, is that I don't have a lot of control over what I do and what I say. And that's not just my Tourette's coming out. I mean, I could say something, and then a few seconds later I'll be like, did I just say something? What did I say? What did I say? Did I say something rude? Did I speak? How long have I been sitting here? Did I do something? Where did I get that injury from? I don't even know what to think about. Make the intrusive thoughts stop, or make me think about something that isn't nothingness or death right now. It's just... experiences can even contradict themselves like that. Sometimes you think about too much, and other times you don't think about anything, and you don't know, and you can't feel, and you just, all the time, all I can think about, I don't even know, and my mind isn't totally empty. It's just the same thoughts on loop, and I can't even think about what those thoughts are. I don't know what they are, because they're not always my thoughts. Sometimes I just replay memories because there's no thoughts to be had, and other times all I can think about is how much I want to fucking die. And other times I just think, how long will this last until I can feel again? Or how long until I feel this way again when it stops? And this isn't even the tip of the iceberg, and it's so hard to word in a way that I can make other people, outsiders, understand. I can't explain in a way that you might understand it, and I'm sorry. I used to be much better with words. And but my point is, I felt really, really misunderstood, misrepresented, and attacked by those ridiculous videos the Rewired Soul made. And that makes me doubt, the relevancy and the accuracy of anything and everything else he says, whether it's about a certain illness or topic by itself or about specific YouTubers, because like it or not, whether he wants to accept it or not, he is involved in the gossip and drama, and it's fucking annoying because I didn't sign up to his channel for that. Take what he says about any and all subjects with a mountain of salt, not just a grain of salt, a mountain of salt, because I promise you, he's not an expert, and the only thing he can give you any advice about would literally be what he suffered, which is addiction, through his experience, and experiences are not universal. So even then, don't take his word as gospel. Don't take it as accurate. Take it as an anecdote. Take it as his experience with a thing he's actually fucking suffered. But let me tell you, he does not have all the answers. He does not know everything. And in fact, he knows very, very little, and is masquerading as this fucking paragon of light and knowledge. And I know he's got books and programs that he's selling about these things, and with how deeply misinformed he is and how comfortable he seems to be in being so wrong about some things, don't waste your money. Honestly, don't. Go see a therapist. Go look up someone else's advice. Hell, do your own research. It'll be more accurate than anything Chris will tell you, okay? I don't think he's a bad guy, but I do think he's incredibly ignorant and a little bit fucking stupid, because the wild inaccuracy and the lack of care he has about it was mind-blowing and disappointing, heavily disappointing. So yeah, I guess I've been wanting to say this for a while, because ever since I saw those horrible d.i.d videos, it's been sort of boiling under the surface and bubbling under my skin. And I think I thought away at the time that it would just it was just a feeling I had then and it was gone. But every time I've been seeing everyone else's videos on him, it kept coming back up in my mind. It kept resurfacing. So I have to say my piece about this before it kills me from the inside. I don't need to have toxins running through my veins because I kept a lid on something that made me angry. So I don't want to be mean or cruel, and I don't think Chris's intention is that either, but I don't think he takes this seriously enough because he doesn't take it seriously enough to care if he's right or not, to care if what he's putting out there is accurate or if it's dangerous. Because some things, if you fuck up, you can't come back from it. You can't change that. And there's some people a lot less well put together than me who might hear some inaccurate information from him, and you never know what they could be going through or how weak or in pieces they could be, and the wrong piece of information could lead them to do something very, very bad because he misunderstood something, or they did, or he didn't make it clear enough that his opinion is not a fact, etc. You know, I'm sorry to go on for so long. I think this has been a bit of a long time coming. So not to hate on him, not to give any hate to Chris from the Rewired Soul, but just to say, please don't take anything he says as God's fucking word. Don't take it as gospel. Don't take it as facts and anything based on actual knowledge. Please go talk to professionals, do your own research, read books, talk to people like you, talk to people who actually have experience with the thing you're curious about or want help with. Talk to people, read, do your own thinking. Don't be spoon-fed false information by a man who just wants your money and attention. Please. It'll make your life so much better if you just do it yourself. Please. If you want to entertain him, his ideas by actually watching his videos and that, be my guest. Don't stop watching him by any means, but, please don't trust everything he says. In fact, distrust a lot of what he says. Doubt it unless you actually have proof to back that up yourself, and not from some biased source where he's, citing his mother or something who he says is a therapist, because it's you're gonna be biased. You're gonna use that person's opinion because they're gonna tell you what you want to hear, and you're gonna think that person's right because they're related to you. My mother is a fucking nurse. My grandmother was a nurse, but I'm not a nurse or a doctor. I'm not gonna tell you that I know everything the body does. I have a little more information than the average person might, but I still don't have that qualification and that inner knowledge, and neither does he. His mother might be a therapist, but he is not. So, if anyone's listening to this, thank you. I'm really sorry, but I needed to get that off my chest. And I hope I've been able to get through to somebody and helped a little bit and cleared the air, sort of, about this whole thing, because once again, I don't think he's a bad person. I just don't think he's trying hard enough to do the right thing. I think he's in this for the wrong reasons, and he doesn't care as much as he should. And that hurts me deeply as someone who does care for the suffering and struggling of others with mental illnesses. And I hope all the best of recovery for anyone and everyone who has that chance and that option. And I don't want you to be led astray by some quack on the internet who just wants to get clicks. So please take care of yourselves, do your own research, and listen to the professionals first, and put your own experiences and knowledge on things that you know firsthand first. Thank you for letting me say my part on this, and for listening if you did and you made it this far. I appreciate you. I hope you're well. I wish you all good, stable mental health and a wonderful day. Are you fucking serious, Chris? Did you actually think that doing the shit that you pulled on April 1st is actually going to fucking help anybody? You really think that's funny? You think you're this is the most passive-aggressive thing I've ever fucking seen, and I am the fucking authority on being passive-aggressive, rude, and just downright fucking disrespectful, okay? I am aware that I am the fucking embodiment of those things. You really fucking think it's okay to be that on the fucking nose on April 1st when you're literally denying truth by putting the truth in the title and going, isn't it funny they think this about me? It is the truth. Fucking own up to it. And you think it's funny to like all those fucking comments that are fucking calling you out on what you're doing? Do you really think that's okay? That is not okay. That is so fucking childish and so passive aggressive. You are delusional. That behavior can only come from someone as ridiculously delusional as a fucking anti-vaxxer, where when you are shown the truth and proof and evidence is given against you, you still go, no, that's not there, and you literally fucking deny reality and try and gaslight the people who have the fucking proof. You seriously need to get over yourself, and so does your mother. You need to get the fuck over yourselves both, and actually man the fuck up, come clean, and make an apology, especially to all the fucking YouTubers that you have tried to make a fool out of, such as Trisha Paytas and Bobby Burns. Those are the first ones that come to my mind, because they're the ones who I know actually responded because they got fucking mad about what you said about them. Oh, and Leafy Greens as well, who you caused to have a fucking breakdown when she was pregnant. You don't fucking get to diagnose people. You're not a doctor. I'm on the path to becoming a fucking psychiatrist, okay? Fucking 8 years down the line from now, I will have the fucking authority to actually be able to diagnose people if they have mental illnesses. And I have the skill to recognize symptoms and behaviors in people that could be certain things. So I can get a pretty good fucking sense of what might be wrong with somebody. But I'm not gonna fucking tell them unless they ask, because I'm not a licensed professional. I can only give my quite fucking experienced opinion. And until I get that fucking piece of paper, until I've done those years of medical work and then gone further to the next parts and I've got all my fucking qualifications, I'm not gonna be able to say to somebody, you 100% definitely have this, because I can't legally fucking diagnose you yet. But I'm still already in a better fucking position to do so than you fucking addict. Also, if you expect anyone to believe you're in recovery, you're delusional about that too. Have you fucking seen yourself? You do not look like you're getting better. Look at your fucking eyes. Look at the yellow discoloration around your fucking eyes. You're a piece of shit, Chris, and you're a liar. And your mother, you enable each other. Clearly, she raised you in her fucking image. You know, apple doesn't fall far from the fucking tree. Pricks like you would be so fucking angry because you're just so, you know, at least I don't have that fucking arrogance. I'm fully aware of what I am, but I don't have this overblown fucking ego. You are fucking arrogant beyond belief. And that is not okay. Especially with how many people you tried to drag down and tried to stir drama with by saying you're not a drama channel. You are a drama channel. And your thin veil of, oh, we use this to talk about mental health, has been ripped to fucking shreds. You do not deserve a platform on which you can keep harassing people and making a joke and making fun out of people who are trying to get you to come clean and do the right thing. You don't get to say you're exempt from doing the right thing and being a good person because you don't fucking believe you did anything wrong. You have been wrong. You have been proved wrong. You have been outed to thousands of people now. You have lost, so I've heard, tens of thousands of subscribers. You need to get off your fucking high horse and make some change. And no, not some petty, oh, so I've decided that I'm gonna make a change. I'm not gonna watch videos about me anymore. Not that kind of passive-aggressive, petty little change, you fat fuck. You actually need to make real fucking change. You need to decide to be a better person and start treating people with some goddamn respect and dignity. And more than that, just stop lying to people. For the first fucking part, stop lying to people. You and your mother are not fucking licensed. Your opinions are not facts. It is not fun. Nobody asked your goddamn opinion. Nobody's gonna appreciate that. You fucking infuriate me. And that's really fucking bad because no one should have the power to do that to me. But I get really fucking mad about the injustices in this fucking world, and you creating more of that shit for no reason other than for personal enjoyment because you're a sadistic dumb fuck. You need help. You know, it's no wonder you're not fucking certified. You need to see a certified fucking therapist. Okay, maybe you'll actually come out of it with some semblance of reality left. Oh, and it's bullshit when you say shit like, oh, I don't watch videos about myself, because we know you fucking do. Especially when you decided to make a video going, oh, now they're attacking my mother. Like, no one was attacking your mother, but you wouldn't have known anyone was talking about your mother unless you had seen Elle Loves Tea's videos. Oh, and of course, you should fucking apologize to Primink as well. I think the guy's video was actually pretty fucking good, you know? He made some fucking points. Yeah, he had a fucking opinion in there which sounded a little bit wobbly every now and then, but on the fucking whole, he was right on point. So if you think that doing all this shit, like clickbaiting with that fucking April Fool's video, if you think that shit is somehow putting you above him, is somehow making you win or morally better, you seriously need a big fucking dose of reality. You are so far gone right now. It is unbelievable. I don't even know if getting therapy at this point could help you, you know? Besides, your bad habits will probably get you dead by the end of 2020. But hey, you know, who am I to say? I'm just a young woman with several fucking conditions of my own who's training to be an actual psychiatrist to actually be able to fucking help people who are suffering, you know? Someone who's actually making a fucking change and making an effort and actually has the right motivations to do things and is trying to do honest, good work for people. Whereas you just want to fucking clickbait and cash grab and start drama because you fucking feed off of it. That's your addiction. Even worse than drugs, that is your fucking addiction. And you are not in recovery. Fuck no. Even Russell Brand would be fucking disappointed in you. So in all seriousness, you April fucking fool, get help and clean up your fucking act or get off of YouTube because we don't need or want you here, okay? You are bad. You're a horrible fucking influence. You are bad for people and you make really fucking damaging, dangerously ignorant fucking statements all the time. And it is so frequent, so often. You don't know how fucked up people could be walking away with the wrong ideas of every fucking condition under the sun. And also thinking that if your behavior is equal to XYZ instead of ABC, you know, they're gonna also be fucked up in how to socialize with other human beings when they think that your behavior is okay. And instead of being manipulative, take behavior like yours as, oh, I'm your friend. That's gonna fuck people up. So if you really want to help people, don't pretend you're going on a mental health break and still be lurking social media and come back and start drama all over again. How about you just fuck off? Because right now, I think that's your only fucking option. You leave for good, or you actually go and get fucking help, and you come back and apologize when you are actually fucking sane and in a healthier place.